Alaska summit, Trump and Putin meet, but Ukraine peace remains elusive. The historic Trump-Putin summit, held on August 15, 2025 at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Anchorage, Alaska, was billed as a turning point for the war in Ukraine and U.S.-Russia relations. It was the first time Russian President Vladimir Putin set foot in a Western country since the 2022 invasion and his ICC arrest warrant, and the first face-to-face between Trump and Putin since 2019. Hopes and anxieties ran high across world capitals as the international press dubbed the meeting Alaska 2025. Expectations and lead-up. In the days before the summit, President Trump telegraphed his intention to pursue a deal, not just a ceasefire, saying both sides would have to make concessions. Kremlin statements made clear Russia expected to press for eastern Ukrainian territories, while Western partners watched cautiously, fearing that Ukraine might be forced to accept territorial losses. What actually happened in Alaska? The summit unfolded with dramatic symbolism. Red carpets, F-22 flyovers, the two leaders posing side by side. For Putin, the Western welcome broke more than 3 years of diplomatic isolation, a personal victory, according to Russian state media. Talks lasted nearly 3 hours with expanded delegations. Despite Trump calling the conversation very productive, both leaders confirmed no agreement was reached. There was no ceasefire, nor any immediate plan for hostilities to halt in Ukraine. Key outcomes and statements. Both Trump and Putin reiterated the need for a full peace agreement, not a temporary ceasefire. Trump publicly pressed Ukraine to make a deal, emphasizing Russia was a formidable power, and they are not. Negotiations included discussion of land transfers and security guarantees. Trump and Putin both claimed progress, but admitted agreement now hinges on Ukraine's consent. Ukrainian President Zelensky immediately announced a visit to Washington for urgent talks with Trump on the aftermath, emphasizing Kyiv would require robust security guarantees and protection from further Russian aggression. Putin described the summit as timely and very useful, insisting Russia was open to a fair settlement if its core conditions were met. For the Kremlin, the global optics of the summit marked a remarkable rehabilitation on the world stage, something European analysts described as a win before Putin even left the tarmac. International reactions and impact. European leaders led by Macron and von der Leyen reiterated support for Ukraine's sovereignty and rejected any backroom deals that might force territorial concession. Analysts noted that while Trump succeeded in forcing Putin back to the table and extracting commitments to further dialogue, the lack of substantive outcome could pressure Ukraine to accept an unfavorable peace. The meeting itself, in the absence of Ukrainian or European participation, drew criticism that Washington might sideline allies in search of a media victory. Across social media and international press, the Alaska summit was widely debated, with some calling it the start of a new phase of U.S.-Russia dialogue, and others viewing it as a moment of leverage for Putin. In sum, the much-hyped Alaska summit delivered spectacle, symbolism, and a pledge for peace negotiations, but no ceasefire, no land deal, and no end to the violence in Ukraine. For now, the world waits for Zelensky's next move and whether a real agreement can emerge, or whether the war will grind on with new diplomatic stakes.